G'day, footy's back. That's right. I'm Brendan Goddard. Wait, no, I'm not Brendan Goddard. I'm Jaymz Clements, and this is the AFL Today Show. I am your host. I'm joined, as always, by a couple of dinkuses that we found wandering around the office. Over there is Alex Donnelly, looking like an 1880s gold prospector.
Yeah, that's actually pretty nice.
A bit nicer than usual. I wasn't expecting
compared to everything that's been said in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, different P words.
Yeah.
The stats boy as well. What's going on, Liam McAllion?
No, good to see you guys are getting along, and
Out before.
Very nice.
A couple of tins.
Nice one. But it is a fun midweek madness show right now because we are heading into round 11. That's gross. Is it? But I love it.
It's exciting.
Live for the moment.
Yeah.
We've got one more week until buys start again.
So we've got to live it up this week.
Absolute chaos. But remember, this is the AFL Today Show. Get around all of the socials for the AFL Today Show. We have plenty of stuff going on. Get around the YouTube channel as well, or Stats Guy will find you and fight you. Yep. All right, footy is back. News ticker. Midweek madness. Of course, we've got the second half of the Sir Doug Nicholls round. What have we got on Saturday evening? Dreamtime.
Yes.
That'll be fun.
Dreamtime rules.
Always one of the great games on the AFL calendar, of course.
I'm heading to that one. That'll be very exciting. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Nice one.
Yep.
That's very cool. You don't barrack for either of those. In fact, you barrack for a really bad team. You just go to some sort of neutral support here.
Neutral support. That's why, MCC. Just always pop into a game once a week. Yeah.
Do you wear your North?
No, I'm not one of those guys. No. That's weird.
I love the idea of wearing a different team's like colours to a specific game.
Gather Round was great, to be fair.
Gather Round was good.
Gather Round was different though.
Yeah,
that was
like you walk in anywhere and you have to wear your footy stuff.
I'm just all about anything that throws confusion onto like just random people.
The only time I have
why is that little man wearing a North?
Yeah. I was Swans Collingwood game and I saw a guy in a Hawk shirt. Like, you're in the wrong place.
I wore my North scarf once when we beat Richmond year before. And it was, I was going straight from that game to the other game, and there was actually a few North fans there. So
see, like if you went to like an Essendon Carlton game in Collingwood gear, everybody like, should we all bash it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So on Anzac Day, I saw a guy, he had his Collingwood hat on, but his Melbourne Storm shirt on, because he was clearly going across to the Storm game
that's
that night.
That's a man with his priorities.
I was like, that's a man with a plan.
That's I like Celtics jersey on underneath as well. Anyway, other news for the news ticker. Jakey Lever. Going under the knife for a bit of a touch-up on his knee.
Yeah.
Which is pretty smart, seemingly, because he's out with a concussion anyway. So they're like, well, we'll actually just knock you out again. And put you
I was going to say, they don't have to. They don't have to knock him out. He's already out.
Go to sleep. It's a tough one for Melbourne anyway, right? Because you just lost to the West Coast Eagles, thanks to all of our new supporters out west for backing us and appreciating our commentary.
I wasn't involved. That was all on you guys.
Yeah, that was
and Leo, who's fighting to the sun on his way to Kentucky.
We'll take any comments.
I'm just saying, look, I'm going to stand here on my own 2 feet and say West Coast actually might not be very good still. I'm just saying.
Well, at home they're good, but maybe away from home now.
Melbourne perhaps aren't very good. But anyway, Jake Lever out for a few weeks, obviously not good there. Sam Naismith, speaking of not good.
This sucks. This honestly sucks.
Fourth ACL for this bloke.
Yeah. Every time he's come back, you're like, this guy is actually a good player. He played really well for Sydney.
Why do you think the Swans kept him instead of Nank back in the day?
Because he just doesn't get injured as much, obviously. Yeah. It's horrible. Very sad.
No, they kept him because he had more ability, and then his knees just started going. He just started blowing out knees.
It's just not great when your knees are made of paper mache.
Yeah, but as soon as that happens, it just keeps going. It keeps happening again and again. Yeah.
Like if you're that tall, you just go, well, it's like 3 strokes to the end. I'm basically in thought.
Well, just dives and then, I'm there.
Nice one.
His nickname is the Crayfish.
It is.
But Naismith, that stinks.
Yeah,
that's Richmond also, they did release a big sort of breakdown of all their injuries. And some of the other, like the likes of Hopper and Taranto, they were looking to be back around their buys and stuff like that. So and Tom Lynch as well, right? I think the week prior to their buy, there's like these little bits where Richmond are like, this is okay. At the same time, just fire your season into the sun. You're 1-9, aren't you? Like, what are we doing here?
But the thing is, it's not like, we'll just play the kids. They're playing the kids. They've literally
got no choice.
They've only got
no kids left.
They've only got 2 more people that they can't pick. That's available. I think they've got 27 available players or something. So it's like
it's ridiculous.
Who's up next? Ball boy, you're in.
That guy, he's played 1 VFL game. Bring him in.
Hey, that was a good kick. Training.
I still reckon
the work experience kid don't care.
I think you should be able to dive, if they've ever played for you before, you should be able to dive back in.
So you can bring Cochin and Rewalt back.
I love it. Richo's just going to suit up, just be out there at full forward for the time.
Yeah, Richo's condition is I'm staying in the goal square.
Yeah, Cochin's just like, I'll go, please. And they're like, you weren't very good.
Jack Dyer, bring them all back.
Brett Delidio.
Delidio, I love that.
Yeah. David Roden, you can go umpire and play.
But he's got the pipes now too.
There we go.
We wear the long sleeve and smile the whole time.
That'd be great. Goal sneak, he's like,
he's like, Wait, was it a goal?
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, no, Dose Through Dark goal review, boys.
All right, other gear for news ticker. Luke Parker, 6-week ban for a big bump in the VFL.
We'll talk about that in the year, Nars.
Oof.
Yeah.
Libbo, in a bit of good news, good to go seemingly some point in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
There were rumours this week, he's retired. It's like, people who send you messages on Facebook Messenger who are very ready to jump the gun about stuff like that.
It was long WhatsApp
last
message.
name Weaver, first name Andrew.
Pump the brakes, I reckon, sometimes.
Love you, Weaves.
But Libba, look, that's good news. Not great if you just brought in Ed Richard for your SuperCoach.
But it also feels like he is one concussion away from it being, all right, we got to pack this
I
up.
don't know, he's got a head like a cement mixer, I reckon.
Yeah, but it's just...
Same as his dad.
He looks like a cement mixer when he's spinning around on the ground. So
Well,
maybe
Probably
he
what it sounds like inside his head. Right, Homer.
He also, when you got boot studs in your face, I don't think you should be able to bounce back as quickly as he has.
Yeah, I think that's why they
Give it
said
another
3
week or
weeks.
so, yeah.
Give him more if you need it.
A little bit of news, Taron Thomas still sucks.
Yeah, hasn't changed.
He's
Completely sucks.
horrible.
That guy sucks.
Can we just do Taron Thomas, never to play AFL again. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're not going to...
The way that you phrased that was so dumb.
Yeah. When you said ever to play AFL again, you said, yeah, I think you
So
meant,
you want him to play AFL.
he'll never
I think
play.
you mean, nah, he'll never play again.
Yeah.
Nah, he won't. Or yeah, he won't.
Forget about
He will never play football again.
I'm going to
And
say
he will
that-
never be registered in the third division of the Talangata League or something.
No, he shouldn't.
He should never be able to step
should be in
foot
jail.
across.
Oh, I don't want to get into that. He
That's
could
if
be
he's
in jail.
found guilty and allegations.
He's a horrible person.
Don't let him near an AFL club or any sort of
Well, the
football
fact that the
ever
AFL
again.
had to come out and actually release a statement going, yeah, he's not allowed to do anything. This is out of our hands, everybody. Just to
But this is also because we have, dumbass coaches going, oh, yeah, we'd be interested in him. He's just a piece of
Scott,
garbage.
yeah.
You should actually have to go to some sort of convention and explain to people who've been involved in domestic violence as to why you want to pick Taron Thomas and explain to them why it's a
Brad
good
Scott
idea.
should literally have to front up to DV survivors.
Was it Chris
and go,
Scott or
no,
Brad
no,
Scott?
this is why.
Oh, no, it was Brad Scott. Sorry, yeah.
Brad-
This is why
Essendon,
we
yeah.
want to have Taron Thomas. And those domestic violence survivors should be able to go, hey, Brad, blow it out your nose.
Yep.
Anyway, midweek losers, winners of the week. Families. Are they winners or losers? That's the big question because we had Ed Langdon just go, I've got an RDO this Saturday.
Yeah, that's right.
I forgot about
It's like, sick. I might just buzz off and go check out my brother's wedding.
In London.
In London.
That's
and everyone's
crazy.
like, that's fine. You're only playing Westco. Oh,
And then they lost.
no.
Well, he's not the reason they lost.
Yeah.
but-
isn't he?
No, he's not that good.
Also,
Are you sure, Stats Boy?
Mullen from Geelong went to his sister's wedding in Ireland a few weeks ago.
Yep.
It's all right.
I love it.
I don't
think
mind
it's
it.
great.
Who cares?
20 years ago, no way in hell, but now it's just like,
I love this because if you
respect
guys
that.
were like, I got to go to my brother's wedding, I'm like, no, you're not.
I don't have a brother.
Stats Boy Leo, he's like, Stats Boy. Social boy Leo, he's like, oh man, I'm going to go on Kentucky. He's like, no, you're not. No fun on this watch.
Jim's coming with you.
Middle of the season, no dice, mate.
Says the guy who wants to go away for a month next year. That's going to be fine.
No one cares. Right. But families, come on. I think we can. The fact that people went after Ed Langdon, it's like, dude, it's just.
Same thing with Harley
You know
Reid,
what
yeah.
doesn't matter? That. It doesn't matter in the big scheme of things. I think we can all just go, you know what's more important in the greater scheme of your life?
Family.
Going to his
Is
sister's
your
wedding.
work life, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Going to a family wedding on the other side of the world, it's not going to, ruin
Did
your
also
career.
anyone notice that Ed Langdon wasn't playing?
Nope.
I actually really like it.
I enjoy it, but I honestly did not realize.
I knew.
I was like, he must be injured. Did not know he's at a wedding.
The other loser one is Harley Reid being homesick and going, oh, she's really tough, man. You're like, oh,
That's all right.
ding, ding, ding.
Oh, man.
I've got a yeah, nah coming up that'll explain that.
Yeah.
And also another midweek winner, Elliot
Yeah.
Yo! Because he's got a 3-year offer, apparently, reportedly,
I didn't say that.
possibly, tabled by Radelaide.
Yeah, from Ryan Daniels. He's the
Adelaide
WA
are just like,
reporter.
are you an injury-prone player? Come to us. Come to
Yeah,
us.
but it's also getting him to a new doctor and things like that. But it's also, we have
New
all this
doctor.
money.
They're all good
we have
doctors.
all this money that we want to spend. Here's money.
Which is fine. Like, the
Danger
weird-
and Yo. I don't think that's the answer.
I don't
the
think
weirdest
Danger's not gonna
part
go there.
was for Yo. It's like, he's like, no, I want to stay in West Coast and help the rebuild.
Yeah.
And
then Adelaide are like, here's
he's
the
like,
money.
they're just like, how about if we just make it rain? And he's like, that's pretty good. Let's go to Adelaide. It's a lovely
I also
city.
said this last year that Elliot Yo should go to Adelaide.
You did, actually. That is random. We can find
I
that
want my
clip.
cut.
Hang on a second. Do you run Adelaide? Yeah. Let's do some nah.
Yes.
Number one, this is from Did the Swans Win? Do supporters actually understand what constitutes a contested possession? Yeah, nah. I think
Leo was talking about this. He does champion data, and might have to get him on the next show to talk about it.
I think it's
Leo,
fascinating.
come over here.
Explain contested possession on camera there, Leo. Quickly.
Leo, come here.
Get over here.
Get over here.
I didn't mean to throw him under the bus.
Oh, no, we've got the camera on behind the screens.
I've literally thrown him under
Champion
the bus.
Data's own Leo. Also our social
possession.
guy.
What does contested possession actually constitute?
It can be not just like a hard ball get.
Can
but
it also be where you talk into a microphone?
He's talking into
I
the
still
microphone.
can't work that out, can I, Jim?
You are shocking.
Thank God you got
Hey,
on
I've
holiday.
been put on the spot here.
I'm
a
going to
little
put you
bit
on a bus
rattled.
in Europe.
I'm a little
in
bit rattled. It's basically a hard ball get, but it's whether like it doesn't matter where the pressure is. Like
Yep.
if it's somewhat in congestion, it's still a hard like contested possession.
So if I'm picking up the footy and you're on my clacker and I've just picked it up and dished off a handball, that's a contested
That's
possession.
have to be
if
tackled or bumped
as well
or-
as
yeah.
So
if it's
think
like
about any touch that Nick Dacos has. It's the opposite of that.
Oh,
stiff.
okay, Mr. No.
Contested possession.
Yeah.
it's also if like the opposition turns it over and then you win it back in like a congested
congested
area.
area. Yeah.
So
But
that's
you
why
don't
Zach
necessarily
Butters had
need to
100
be.
of them.
You don't necessarily need to be like
Getting
pressure.
tackled.
It's like first possession type thing.
Okay.
There you go.
There we go. So
I
if
knew
you
he
didn't
knew.
understand what it was, you do now.
So I'm
you, Leo.
from the question we were asked, they don't understand, but they do now.
Exactly. So yeah, nah, but now, yeah. Was Nick Dacos' game against Adelaide overstated given that he went at less than 30% kicking efficiency? It was particularly noteworthy early.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it was overstated.
And it's overstated because he ended up with 1 million touches in the end. But
41 touches, he got the 10 coaches votes. It's like, but
He
his
didn't deserve the 10
disposal
coaches
was
votes probably.
bad.
tough.
It was
And,
still
like,
good. He was lots of those touches were clearances and quick
It's
kicks and
amazing.
things like
Like
that.
you can always tell when like someone has like a shockingly inefficient game where it's like you have 41 touches and you score 105 super
Yeah,
points.
true.
Goal. Yeah, it's definitely overstated. Like he didn't
say
win
yeah.
the game for them or anything.
No.
Was 6 weeks for Luke Parker too heavy a punishment? Yeah, nah.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, you go.
He didn't fully. He shouldn't have gone for the man. Definitely shouldn't have done that. But I don't think he was going for the head. He didn't. He got him in the chest, right? If I'm correct. And if you're not getting someone in the head and actually hurting them, I don't think it should be more than 4 weeks.
Well, I'm going to say nah, because yes, he chose to bump. If you choose to bump and then there is accidental head clash, which there was, and you cave in a man's skull because your skull is made of concrete, you deserve 6 weeks. He chose to bump. He's fractured the guy's cheekbone and eye socket. He's also adding, he's only a VFL player. He's actually like a plumber during the week. So
That
there's
was sad,
real
to be
life
fair, yeah.
issues towards this as well. But the fact that he's gone the bump and he's broken his face, the guy hasn't had surgery yet because his face hasn't come down. So yes, it was the right punishment. And this is me as a Swans fan saying.
On
No,
top
fair
of
enough, I
that, he
respect
should
that.
actually have to do the bloke's job for 6 weeks.
That would be so funny.
So,
Luke
hello,
Parker.
I'm your plumber, Luke Parker. Do you know how to plumb Luke Parker? He's like, nah.
Luke Parker
gonna
might
learn.
know. He's from country Victoria.
He might. He's
yeah.
fine. He's got a head like a plumber. I think it's on the ball. Like he hit him bloody hard.
Yeah, if it was 4, if it was 6, I would have been like, yeah, okay. But 6 feels right given with the Peter Wright one was 4.
Wow, we're still talking about this. If when the mid-season trades come in, do we have a cap on what level a player can move? Yeah, nah, no. This is silly.
So you're saying anyone can move?
yeah, anyone can be traded.
So
think
I'm
that makes
saying
more
nah,
fun.
I'm saying it's up to salaries of
'cause you're-
500,000.
Nah, because you're a coward. So
I think yeah. Why not?
you can go absolutely hog wild as long as you can fit them under the salary cap. And if you're moving out commensurate salary as well, then it should be absolutely a free-for-all. Like there's no, oh, well, we can't move him because he makes too much money. Why does that make any sense?
So then it...
I feel like it'll take a few.
But it's
Pause.
more
Pregnant pause.
it's
Here we
more
go.
because someone like from a North Melbourne be like, we suck. I'm gonna leave and go to another team.
Okay, Alex has just convinced me otherwise because that could easily happen.
Like how much would Melbourne, who have room in their salary cap right now, throw out Nick Larkey to come play full forward for them right now?
And then we got no
The
forward.
thing is, you got to understand, like, if it's a trade,
Okay,
you can
give it-
ask for a trade. You don't have,
to do
trade
it. Yeah,
that
of course.
player.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's why I'm saying there should be a
They're
cap
under
on it
contract.
because
They're literally under a contract for a reason.
But
where
it's
they
also-
can request a trade to you, but you don't have to honour that request.
but it's also you're going
And
to
if
have the good
Melbourne
players from
sh-
bad
if Melbourne
teams leave.
shit- if
One at a
Melbourne-
time, lads.
If Melbourne send you stuff back, like whether it be draft capital, whether it be other player salary to make up
Ben
that
Brown can
spot.
go back there.
Because literally, you should have literally this setup of where you have draft picks that are worth X amount of salary space, as well as the other salary to fill that in, basically so you're getting players back. And the way that other leagues tend to do it is like within 100 to 125% of what that player already makes, right? So you got to send out what you're getting back in. If you've got salary space under the cap, then you can at least have it up to like 150, maybe up even further,
yeah.
who knows?
More probably, yeah.
But I think it should be absolutely a free-for-all because you know what that means? It means that someone like North Melbourne, if in the middle of the season, it's like, oh, actually, we've got all this salary cap space. Elliot Yeo wants to leave and come home. Let's have a crack.
Yeah, it's still going to be the
Players
same.
like that.
So players are only going to leave bad teams to go to a better
That's
team.
never going to happen. It's not only. There's no such
But
thing.
in the middle of the season, though,
In the middle
it will
of the
be.
season, they might look at it and go, well, what I can do is set myself up for next year.
Yeah.
And if, like, say Elliot Yeo's like, well, we need, North is like, Yo, we need some sort of veteran leader to come in and at least help us out for the next 6 months. Clarko's taken a shine to him or something, right? But we're going to give you a contract extension from the year after, the same as what Adelaide are going to pay you. So come on now, jump on board, get around the boys, learn the culture, expand on this. It's not going to be one or the other, right? It never is. Like you have all the other leagues around the world. Like I think you guys might be a little bit tainted with like the idea of football, right? Where you've got specific divisions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where players don't tend to go down; they tend to go up, right?
Players never leave for a worse
Exactly.
club.
Or rare, very rare.
But it's more like...
Whereas with trades, because this is not literally just transfers, this is trading. It's literally trading. So I think there should be no cap. I think we should be just going absolute hog wild, even in the mid-season, off-season. I think it's weird that it's only like a 2-week period anyway.
Yeah.
I think it's because the AFL, it will take a few years for like players to jump off like a team, for example. I think it's going to be taking a few, like what you're saying about other sports. I don't think AFL players in that mindset, they're like, that they would be willing to change
that's
team.
why they
but in a
need
few
to be
years,
doing it
possibly.
right now.
I'm with Jim, where the players have too much power as well.
That's true. In
Like
AFL,
if
they have
someone's
way too
like,
much
we're
power.
offering you all of this for this one player, and the club's like, done.
Yeah.
Easy.
Pack your bags, you're gone.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Is Harley Reid the most must-watch? There we go.
That's a tongue twister.
Must-watch player in the AFL right now? Yeah, nah. I mean, after the weekend, probably.
Yeah.
I tune into West Coast games to see what this kid's going to do.
Otherwise,
That's
you
an easy,
wouldn't.
Yeah.
So I think the difference between the level of the team
Who else
versus
is
how
out
much
there?
you want to actually watch them.
Dacos.
Right there.
I'm not
Rankin,
putting...
Rankin is
I'm
far
not
behind
putting
him.
on a Collingwood game to watch Nick Dacos.
Rankin is so exciting to watch, I think.
He also, look, it's only been the last sort of, 5
been
weeks?
2
No,
weeks.
he's been great
Never
for about
ever
6
before
weeks.
have you turned on a game to watch Isaac Rankin until someone said he's the top 5 player ever. Buddy was the last one,
The
or you
last 6
turn a
weeks,
game
Rankin
on,
has been
or
amazing.
Cyril.
I'm not hearing that.
They're the last 2 players.
Suva.
Maybe even actually,
Suva.
maybe
LDU,
even peak
last 2
danger.
weeks.
Oh, please,
Charles.
LDU, shut up.
And for me, Noah Anderson.
That Jack Lukosius.
Should State of Origin come back? Jeez, talk about like firing the guns a bit early. Maybe we should use this
This is
for
a
next
whole
week.
year now
This is an
segment,
entire
yeah.
episode.
Right, yeah.
Entire episode. Should State of Origin come back? Of course it should. Yeah,
Of course it should.
Yes.
Imagine Harley Reid, Zach Butters, and Nick Dacos starting in the midfield for Victoria in 2 weeks' time. That'd be sick.
That would be nuts.
I like that. It's like John Platten kicking it to Tony Plugger Lockett.
Yeah, and him just telling Dunstall, get out of the way.
Craig Bradley next to Andrew McLeod and Stephen Cooney. Anyway, big calls for round 11 or for the past round 10. Darcy Byrne-Jones is going back. He's going back.
Why has he got English there?
All Australian.
It's because he's been hanging around sales guy
he's been
Tim.
Yeah.
so good. Darcy Byrne-Jones.
Are you all right?
This poor team, he might sneak into the All-Australian team. I love
He might sneak into the squad. He's not making
He's
the
the
team.
worst All-Australian choice of all time, still to this
it. Such
day.
a hater stats.
You are a
is.
hater.
And what if you two want to look down the camera and say he's going to be All-Australian?
I'm not
Darcy
saying-
Byrne-Jones will be an All-Australian again. But really, the big call is Harley Reid demands a trade to Carlton, Larry's hero, Chris Judd, because he's a bit homesick this offseason. Boom.
Talk
away
about
we go.
big calls over here, buddy. Yeah.
I know, we'll maybe part with, maybe Patrick Cripps just...
Send Patrick
Cripps
Cripps
out,
back to
right.
WA.
Exactly. You go.
That would actually work.
It'd
Yeah,
actually be
so
awesome.
they'd want Patrick
Oh.
Cripps and Carlton's two picks this year.
I can't believe
take
I'm
it.
agreeing with this.
So would you take Harley Reid for Patrick Cripps and Carlton's next 2 first-round picks?
100%. I love
no,
you, Cripper.
I would actually be good.
I
I think.
absolutely love you, Cripper. But at the same time, watching Harley Reid...
Imagine Harley Reid and Sam Walsh.
Watching Harley Reid just brings a tear to your eye sometimes and just sheer gratitude of how good he is at
But
football.
imagine if you're North Melbourne, you could have had him.
No, they didn't need him though.
We'd still be on to
Alex, big call.
The roof will be open at Marvel Stadium tomorrow.
Why is
They
that?
don't open it, mate. You just want it to be.
Thursday night, perfect weather. The last time the roof was open that I can remember for an AFL game was the Sydney Swans and Western Bulldogs. I'm just putting it together. The roof will be open to make Jim happy.
You just see Alex on the roof trying to pull
It's
it open.
open!
Open it. Please.
Either that or it'll be open for the Matildas or the Arsenal All-Stars game on Friday
Unless
night.
it's 37 degrees somehow. They're
Shut
not
up,
opening,
Stats.
they're not opening that roof.
It was open earlier this year, so there is precedent that it's open.
Stats boy.
I'm going Roll Marshall, All-Australian. 22 disposals, 12 contested, 28 hit-outs, 6.5 clearances. Obviously, you got Gawn. I think he'll be the number 1 ruck. And then they sometimes sneak in a little ruck on the bench. Obviously, Grundy's been really
little
good,
rucker.
but I think Rowan Marshall, just because the Saints have been horrible, everyone else in his team's been pretty average, but he's been awesome. So he even dominated.
So
has
has he been good in a pathtic team, and he just looks good because
well,
said
he
team
showed
is
last year that he was good as well. I think no matter if his team would be good or
he's
not.
still got to beat out Lloyd Meek.
Yeah, Lloyd Meek, he's been really good.
He's got to beat out Bailey Williams after he towed up Max Gorn last week.
Oh yeah, one game from
Brody Grundy.
But yeah, I sneaky All Australian. I reckon that people aren't probably
He's getting a
talking
lot of
about.
touches.
Yeah, he's an extra midfielder. He's a gun. Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Thursday night footy. Thursday night footy. This game, I'll tell you what, it should be a cracker. That's right. The Swans are favoured 9.5 points on the road at Marvel Stadium against the Western Bulldogs. This is a surprisingly excellent matchup that you would have looked at and went, I don't know about that.
They
But
always
then,
have good
the way these teams are playing,
Yeah.
who knows what could happen in this one. So the over-under is a pretty interesting 168.5. Where
Over.
it feels like you go
Yeah.
flying over that.
Under
right?
the roof, I'm going to say.
The Swans are kicking over 100 points a game at the moment. This is flying over.
Yeah.
And the Dogs last week put up 70 on the Giants.
But it kicked
the
822.
week prior to that, ripped off 19-19, 133 against the Tigers at the
Yeah.
D. So, I don't know. At Marvel, though, how are the Swans there, Alex?
Pretty good. We are 8-3 in the last 5 years at Marvel. I can remember the two of the losses. One was to the Western Bulldogs and one was to Carlton. Both on Thursday nights, actually.
Oh,
but they
that's
are in
a-
2022, I believe.
Yeah. They were.
Both of
yeah.
those losses.
Yeah,
I don't know what the third loss is, but I were unbeaten in our last couple at Marvel. We won 3 games there last year.
Nice one.
Yeah.
It was also a very raucous use of the word we.
Yeah.
Good job.
Swans, yeah.
Stats, boy, you got some stats?
Why not? 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two have gone under the total points, which was a bit surprising when you got some big matches. There was a lot of 70 to like 68.
Last year was
79 to 60.
78 to 76
But
or something.
I think the roof's going to be closed, and I think it's going to be very high scoring because you got the Lizard scaring off halfback. You got a lot of great forwards on both teams. If the Bulldogs can kick straight, they can kick over 100 as well. But that's just a big if there. What did they kick? Was that 19 points and then 22 points? 822. It was really hard conditions. They'll come back to Marvel and kick a bit straighter. I think. Yeah.
It's an interesting setup as well. So the Swans will be without Tom McCartan.
Still without him.
Yep.
Yes. Which is interesting because you think about the Dogs at Marvel and you automatically you go Jamara,
Norton's been pretty good at
watch
Marvel.
out. But at the same time, Sydney did a pretty good job slowing down a couple
Lewis
of other
Milligan just going under the radar once again.
couple of big forwards last week. Matt Roberts could be back after a rest last week as well.
Yeah, I think he comes straight back
think he
into the
deserves to
team
come back
and
in, yeah.
Braden Campbell stays a sub.
Yep.
So that's just
Tough.
Fox out with the AC joint.
Robbie Fox also went out with a shoulder.
I
so
just said that.
Yeah, but it's just like his role for the Swans as well, right? Like this is
That's what Roberts has been doing though.
yeah. So you sort of look at that and go, is it like for like? It feels
pretty similar.
Ish. I don't know. It's a weird one. I'm tempted. Like I think this is going to be a much closer game than we probably expect. The way the Swans have been playing has been awesome. They absolutely deleted my team. And I think last Wednesday's show we had a big call that might have been Jim saying something along the lines of. What was it? Sydney had beat Carlton by 10 goals and everyone started taking them properly
Very
serious.
close. Yeah.
Bang.
Surprisingly.
Nostra Jimdis over here, I'm just saying.
Nostra Ginger.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. Nostra Jimdis. There you go.
Jim just I don't know. Both not great.
Anyway, the Celtics just forced overtime.
Can
They were down by 3. Amazing.
How has it gone to overtime?
All right, this is an awesome setup though because you've got Bont on one side, Jamara and Co, and then on the Swans you go whoa, Errol, and the Guns, the Heen Man.
The Guns.
I don't know.
Warner, Papley.
Trelaw's been really good.
Trelaw's been
averaging
crushing.
33 disposals.
Who does James Jordan tag?
Has he been tagging every single week? He
last
has,
4
hasn't he?
weeks
Yeah.
he's
He has.
knocked off
Sam Walsh.
Whitfield, Sam Walsh,
It
Anderson.
could be Trelaw because it's
and
like
someone
I
else.
don't know. Does Trelaw
Nah,
actually
Trelaw's
feel
not
as
as
damaging
damaging.
though?
Nah.
I would tag Trelaw
Let's take him out of the game.
He does get a lot of
completely.
clearances.
because he gets a lot of, I would tag.
Ed Richards?
No,
Question mark?
Ed Richards had 2 good games. I would tag Trelaw, and around the clearance, I'd have Rowbottom and Taylor Adams, depending on who's in the midfield at the time, put pressure on Bontempelli physically.
Nice one. Well, I think Swans win this, but it's by not much. 7 points. Alex?
I'm going to hate watching this because every Western Bulldogs game, it's painful to watch against the Swans.
It would also be the
Flashbacks.
funniest thing in the world, considering you are an avowed Western Bulldogs hater. That
If they beat you,
won this game.
that would be very funny. Do you have to say something nice about Bevo if they win?
No.
No, you actually, I think this
So that'd
is a
be the
sandwich bet between he and producer Gerald at this point.
Yes, Gerald's a massive.
Gerald does
fan.
not care, unfortunately, which is great.
Gerald is currently dressed as a bulldog behind the camera.
He does have that dog in him.
He's about to just try to punch on with Alex as well, just for talking
Yeah.
down about his dogs.
So, yeah, I think the Swans, on all things being equal, will win this game by 4 goals. I think they've just got too much for the Dogs at the moment. I'm looking at they beat Richmond and the Giants are in free fall at the moment, whereas the Swans have just deleted Carlton.
Yep.
No Jason Johannesson.
That's
Riley Sanders could come back.
Surely he comes back in.
Bevo said he's got to work on his defensive work, so that's why he's not getting a game at the moment.
That's crap.
Also, Norton at the moment has kicked 16 goals, I think, in the last 6 or 7 weeks, and like he's the number 1 player in the AFL for score involvements and goals in that time.
It could be a random massive Jamara game. He has one each year, right? Where it's like, he's
We've been
goals.
saying this for I reckon 4 weeks though.
Cody Weightman's usually the one against the Swans that does it, and
Jamara.
he's still out. So
Yeah.
Maybe a Jamara game. Six goals, what do you reckon? Stats boy, what's your pick here?
Very similar, Alex. Sydney by 3 goals. Just think they can match them in the midfield and then they're going to kick too big of a score. Like unless
the line feels
the Dogs
short
kick
at
straight
9.5 given recent form.
I think the line and the over-under is a little bit out of whack. So
the line should be closer to 3 goals, I think.
Yeah, I thought Swans 17.5 and the over-under should be nearer to 180.
Nice one. There you go. Bit of Thursday night football. It should be a cracking game down at Marvel Stadium. Then SuperCoach, tips, vibes, thoughts.
Here we go.
Very quickly, Joe Richards and Joel Frazier, the biggest in so far.
Who the hell's Joel Frazier?
It's Freya, I think it is.
Frazier?
Yeah.
Frazier
Gehrig.
Niles! But Joel Frazier, 12.5% of trades have been him because he's a mid forward for the Dogs. And Joe Richards is just the straight up forward, 123.
I bought Joe Richards in.
And I think
he's got a really good break even.
It's negative 95.
Minus 95 is pretty good. So I've got Rankine, who obviously pinged a hammy.
I think I'm going to keep him on my bench. I don't want to burn the trade.
It's
not worth if you just bought him.
The problem is they've got the last buy as well.
Yeah.
So they might just go, we'll just sit you the entire time through to like round 16 and you've suddenly like lost him for 5 weeks.
Yeah, I'm very lucky to bring in Zorko instead of Rankin.
Did you not see he was at some physio with needles and cups all over him.
He's old. He probably does it every week. He'll be all right.
Maybe that's what I need to do.
Yeah. We get that in the studio.
Stem cells.
Anyway, there are some sort of big, interesting vibes as well for the VC captain vibe.
Is Connor Rosa going to be back this week?
No one knows, right? So
they said he's available.
The injury has popped off his SuperCoach name, which is always nice, but I don't know, hammies. I just don't want to ever risk it, right? But the VC gear, I think we talked this out on the official SuperCoach program. Heenman, not bad against the Dogs. Hasn't had like huge numbers, I think, against him in the past.
But this year is his numbers are just way above what he's done before. Errol Goulden's good at Docklands as well.
Big one for me is Caleb Sarong.
Yeah, he's been the most consistent, I think. Yeah.
Freo at home, and I think when he's played at home this year, he's ripped off 170, 125, 140, 150.
Even when the Swans smashed them, I think he still got 150.
I think it was a massive score.
Or even higher than that. So
he was on like 24 touches at halftime.
Even if you think Collingwood are going to win, you can still bank in a captain.
Sarong for my VC on the Friday night, and then probably into Gawn against Rowan Marshall.
Oh, I don't know about that. That's
interesting.
He might get less points because he's playing Marshall, but
maybe Oliver Petrarca, who is playing Richmond. Just go again.
He's playing Richmond.
Boom, done. If you've got Zeret, he's actually probably a great one against the Tigers. I think his last 2 games have been like 162 and 159 against the Tigers. So
don't mind that.
A couple of good ones there if you've got Zeret. All right, anything else for the midweek Magnus show? Nothing?
We covered a bit of everything.
Sweet. There is a little bit of everything. I think we also fixed the trade period. Good stuff. All right, that'll do for AFL Today for today. We'll be back with AFL Today tomorrow for the team show, which will be very fun. Thanks to the Ding guy for jumping on, Alex Donnelly.
Yeah, cheers, Jim.
Not a problem. And the Stats Boy.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Again, you're welcome. Remember to smash a like across all the socials. See us doing lots of weird, fun stuff, filling in all your footy gaps throughout the season. You can see it across Facey, IG, X, Threads, TikTok, and of course YouTube. Remember, it is the Sports Today Show on the old Facey because sure, why not? But subscribe, star, and like all of our shows across all your podcast apps and YouTube, of course. What is there? There's a Cricket Today podcast, a Football Today podcast, NBA Australia, NFL Australia. Hold all tickets with the GGs and lots of other stuff. Get around all of them like Scott Wine around a perm in 1992.
Yes.
Wow, what a reference.
Love that. All right, that's it. We'll catch you later this week, i.e. tomorrow night for the team show for more AFL Today. Till then, look after yourselves. And remember, footy's back. If you like this show, make sure you check out all the other shows on the Sports Today network, from the AFL Today Show to the Cricket Today podcast, the Football Today podcast, as well as NBA Australia and NFL Australia. With Sports Today, your sporting needs have never been easier to cover.